percé aux États-Unis et pas à peu près. Le premier album de MUSIQUE, 16 Stones, s'est vendu à plus de 6 millions d'exemplaires aux États-Unis. Il faut dire qu'à cette époque-là, les Américains aimaient beaucoup la musique grunge. La musique de MUSIQUE ressemble beaucoup à ce style-là. Et pendant ce temps, en Angleterre, les gens aimaient plutôt la Britpop de groupes comme Oasis, Blur et Elastica. Sur l'album de MUSIQUE, il y avait de gros hits comme Everything's Zen, Come Down, Glycerine et aussi Machine Head.
I have a funny story. About a year ago, a British journalist called me up and finding out what British bands were doing well on the side of the Atlantic, you know. So they were the regular, the Oasis and Blur, and then I think we'd gone just about top 10 at that time on the average charts. And I said, oh, by the way, there's this band Bush, Bush X in Canada, and they're gangbusters. And of course, he hadn't heard of you, and I knew the reason why. But why had they ignored you for so long?
Well, because we just signed a record deal that was based in America and it came out in America first. We never had a record out in England that didn't do well. We were signed by an American label. And really simply, the record came out there, and because as a direct consequence of it doing well, they wanted us to follow up on it. And being Americans, they just felt that no rest of the world existed. And what did they care if no one even knew of us anywhere outside of North America? For us, you know, we did want to be known as well for the music we make or whatever in our own country and this and that. But it didn't work out that way initially. But I would just close this little segment off with the fact that we won our first award the other day for Best International Live Band at the Kerrang, like London English Rock Awards. Which only goes to prove that plenty of people know of us, and it's now coming back to normal, like as in the whole world is aware of us. I mean, the problem is that you can't do what we've done in a short amount of time whilst you're touring other countries. We toured America like, you know, only American bands do. We've been really fortunate that with the record label, the people that we work with, everyone has got to do their job really well, and it's been a good time for good people in these different areas to collide. Success brings judgment. It's a really weird thing that the more successful, the more records you sell, the more squinted people look at you. It's been really good to come out. I mean, to come out here to Canada, to get a chance to play here, loads of people. It's nice to come out and follow up the sort of support and success that we had.
Are you from Shepherd's Bush? Are you from London?
Yeah,
you're in London.
Well, I'm from London. I'm not from Shepherd's Bush. I mean, I wanted just to call the band Bush, not really.
Yeah.
Didn't mean that I was born there. I grew up in Kilburn, and now I live right off of Baker Street.
And we recorded the first record in Shepherd's Bush. So, you know, we have a lot of affinity with that particular.
And my mum got robbed in Shepherd's Bush. When I was about 8 years old, my mum got punched, knocked to the ground, ripped a bracelet and money off of her. And I was with her. And, well, actually just on the green. And ever since then, when I was a kid, I could always sense when I was driving through Shepherd's Bush, because I'd get quite scared, you know what I mean? It was scary to me. I was only like, you know, small. And so I just think I've had my revenge on the Shepherd's Bush.
Love and hate, I get it wrong. He cut me right back down the front. Leave the day, just let it fade. Who was there to take your place? No one knows, never will. Most tell me, most tell you. What do you do when it all comes down?
To me personally, lyrics are really important. They might not be important every single line, and you might in a song only get the sense of it and a few of the lyrics, but that's fine, you know, and it's really important to me in a song. There's no song that I can think of that is my favourite song that I don't know the words of at some point, you know, not like the top to bottom, but there'll be a line in it that I'll know, that I go, that's why, you know, that's how I connect myself to that song, because what's weird about it is that irrespective of however people view that, I see the response. We see it when we play every single night. There are certain states that people are in that have existed for centuries, and if you know, to articulate them and to put them into music, put them into art, put them into books, it doesn't change the fact. You know, you always are going to be changing the ways to describe it or the ways to articulate it, but it will never change the simple fact that people are lonely, love fades, wild sex is great, and you always try to look for it. Maybe you don't get as much as you can. You know, all those kind of, all the contradictions are just always going to be there, always have been there. And I don't think it's that surprising. The trick is to kind of talk about it or to approach it in vaguely different ways.
Or write songs about it.
Yeah, right.
Est très bonne.
C'est quand même
94.3.
J'aime bien les blitz.
Une demi-heure sans interruption, là, je trouve ça super le fun. Ben, pour la musique.
Tout le temps branché dessus chaque jour.
La promesse énergie. Toujours des numéros 1.
C'est de la bonne musique. Pas mal mieux qu'ailleurs, je trouve.
CKMF 94.3.
Vous êtes à la recherche d'une voiture amusante à conduire? Voici la Néon. Vous saluerez son côté enjoué et son équipement de série. 2 sacs gonflables, un moteur de 132 chevaux, une cabine à habitacle avancée, à un prix qui donne le vertige à nos concurrents. La Néon 2 ou 4 portes à seulement 12 797 $. C'est le moment de redescendre sur Terre et de passer chez votre concessionnaire Chrysler.
La légende continue. Dance Mix USA 97, édition limitée pour le Canada. Un mix incroyable qui contient 16 des plus puissants hits de l'heure. Justin Enriquez, Vicky N, Boris Luca, Shania McQueen, Lisa Marie Experience, Crush et plusieurs autres. De la stimulation dance pure. Dance Mix USA 97, édition limitée pour le Canada. De Quality Music en magasin maintenant.
Les Backstreet Boys, à Musique Plus, le 21 mars, 14h. Rends-toi à Musique Plus pour rencontrer tes idoles en chair et en os. En participant à cet événement, tu cours la chance de gagner des prix que nous offrirons parmi la foule. Les Backstreet Boys seront là pour toi. Tu as sûrement plusieurs questions à leur poser. Alors appelle, fax, surf ou passe tout simplement leur dire bonjour à Musique Plus. Les Backstreet Boys seront mes invités le temps d'un en ligne tout à fait spécial, en direct le vendredi 21 mars à 14h, en rappel à 21h.
Portrait d'un homme.
Restez assis, ne bougez plus et fixez votre téléviseur. On va vous faire revivre une décennie marquante. Avec la série Les tubes des années 80, vous découvrirez une époque très influente dans l'histoire de la mode et de la musique. Cette semaine, Sheila E., Simply Red, The Pet Shop Boys et un extrait tiré d'un spectacle de Queen en 1983. dimanche à 18h, fixez-vous sur la série Les tubes des années 80.
So you're here for the MTV Awards. Big deal for you guys?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. I always want to play Radio City.
Right.
This place, this venue is really beautiful, really loads of history, and yeah, it's a buzz. You know, I'm a bit nervous already, really, because you know, it's sort of like the culmination for us. It's the kind of, you know, the years of introducing new people to the music and whatever, and yeah, it's exciting and it's a good way to go out.
Bush, Glycerin.
I think that's the kind of the one for us to win, you know. We've always been the most favourite, I think, with people out there, the real people, as opposed to the non-real people. So we have to thank Dave and Claudia, our managers, and Rob and Paul and Jim and Ted, our record company and stuff, and most of all of you. Thanks a lot.
Next 6 months for you, what's going to be happening in terms of stuff for Bush?
I guess getting the record out and doing the couple of videos, and we're going to Australia, Japan, Hong Kong, bit of Asia, and I don't know, see what happens, but I definitely think we'll be working, and I'll definitely be singing and playing guitar.
Le deuxième album de Bushek a pour titre Razorblade Suitcase et il a été enregistré dans le célèbre studio Abbey Road de Londres, là où les Beatles ont enregistré la majorité de leurs albums. Et les membres de Bushek ont pu enregistrer calmement sans se faire harceler par les fans, parce que même à l'époque où ils enregistraient leur deuxième album, ils étaient toujours pas connus en Angleterre. Juste avant la sortie de l'album, le groupe s'est rendu en Australie.
People might see the good parts about what you do. You get to travel, you get to see the world, you get to play in front of all these people, make a lot of people happy with the music, maybe meeting them. Is there any downside to what you do at all?
Of course it costs. You're right, we haven't been in our homes for like 2 years properly, and we're going to be on tour for another like 18 months probably, you know, give or take a bit of time at home. So that's pretty scary in some ways, because it gives you no base, but I don't know, it's also pretty good as well. But it'd be crazy to think there wasn't any pressure on our first record, because of course there's pressure on our first record. You know, that was the record that to make a record that you believe in, it takes like unbelievable pressure. And this one had the same amount of pressure, which is maximum pressure, you know. You couldn't really have had more pressure, but that's just a personal thing. It's not for seeking to get a record deal, or a record sale thing. You know, it's to make the right record and to represent yourself how you want to be represented for that time. You know, that's what's really the most important thing. And I found it equally as pressure. The outside thing is just surreal, and you can't really think of it. I mean, if you figure that we have, like, I don't know, 5.5, whatever, a lot of millions of people that like us or have bought our record, how could you possibly start to think about what it was about the record that each one of them might have liked or something? They do bring a lot of experience in, I guess, and they allow us just to do what we do, and they get their records played. They do say what they feel about the music and stuff, and it's not a given, but you know, because it's pressure for them as well. You know, they want it to be right, and they have helped us, and it's, you know, whatever, it's come out, but.
Blade Suitcases having any kind of overwhelming theme to it at all? Is there a filter thing that happens when you go in to write for a second record 2 years later, where you did so much more?
Yeah, it's just the same as in try and write songs from wherever I can, and happy when I do, and some are more retro in terms of writing about something that happened a while ago, and then putting it into a song now, versus a sort of, I mean, I always do my sort of thought for the day, philosophy for the time songs, with like little things and stuff, and there are a few records like that. I think that the Greedy Fly has a lot of that in it. The threat, but actually the threat of being away, because it was one of the first tracks I wrote off of it, but it was the threat of being away and the threat of everything happening. And often I find that songs, like, if you get a song right, it's really weird how they can be prophetic. I will really find that you write stuff and then it somehow most connects in a little bit of time, which is sort of weird sometimes when you've been maybe vague or haven't quite understood yourself exactly why a certain thing should fit a certain way, but your instinct has led you there completely, bang, and you stick with it. And, you know, it's a good odds that at least 3 times a year there'd be, you know, intense moments of feeling like that something had come off from that, you know, some kind of problem. So yeah, things always they get rebirthed in relevance, which is really cool, but it just shows that I'm formulaic in terms of what I do, you know what I mean, as a because you might wait a few years to get to that point. That had a bit of dynamic, so it was good to have it in there. Well, that's just fine, that's just one of my names.
Gauthier est encore en retard, capitaine.
m'énerve quand il fait ça.
La Sunfire GT de Pontiac, la passion de conduire.
Le premier mix de 97, Massive Dance Hit 2, met en vedette Amber. L'incroyable Rio McCoy. Ça va chauffer. Les plus grands succès européens. Le disque de l'année. Massive Dance Hit 2 avec CD-ROM spécial de Popular Records. En vente dès maintenant.
Sprint Canada a un tout nouveau plan d'économie maxi. Maintenant, ça coûte seulement 15 cents la minute pour appeler partout au Québec et au Canada, n'importe quand. Oui? Maman? Et pas maintenant, là, c'est parce que je suis à la télé. Je sais que j'ai dit qu'on peut appeler n'importe quand, mais pas maintenant. Moi, ça t'est mélangé. Ben non, c'est clair, on peut appeler n'importe quand. Mais pas maintenant.
Avec le tout nouveau plan d'économie maxi de Sprint Canada, vous pouvez appeler partout au Québec et au Canada pour seulement 15 cents la minute. Peu importe le nombre d'appels, peu importe quand, 24 heures sur 24, 365 jours par année.
C'est ça, maman, 15 cents la minute, n'importe quand. Mais non, il n'y a pas de pogne. Est-ce que je te mentirais?
De plus, avec Sprint Canada, il n'y a aucune restriction et aucun frais minimum.
Hey, je t'ai menti une fois. J'avais 4 ans. Quoi? Maman!
Sprint Canada, le maximum à prix minimum.
Portrait d'un homme sans...
« 1987, tous les événements. 1987, toute la musique. The Box. Samantha Fox. Heart. Revivez l'année 87 avec Génération Plus, l'album double. Les Rita Mitsuko. Céline Dion et bien d'autres. Génération Plus 1987, l'album double en vente maintenant. Aussi en magasin, Génération Plus 1986.
In Canada, we're almost 5 times platinum. Certainly, we're 5 times platinum in America also. And the album has just exceeded the 6 million album mark. So, what Bush has accomplished on one album, most bands don't accomplish in a lifetime, which are 5 consecutive, in America, at least 5 consecutive smash #1 tracks. They became the 3rd largest touring band in America last year.
Suburban suicide, washing nighttime amber, so temporary.
Why did you call your new album Razor Blade?
Suitcase.
Or, sorry.
It's because I felt that it's a line for one of the songs on the record called Synapse, and it's a I felt that lots of people have agendas before they came and meet us or whatever. They would already have made their minds up what we'd be like, and it's the fact that you have to deal with everyone else's emotional baggage when they meet you. You know, so really how they're qualifying you is how they see their own life that day or how they see their life that week. Really, it has little to do with who you are, really. You know, they try and sort of psychoanalyze you in one lunchtime and think that they understand you. So it's just a fact of people coming along already with an idea in mind of what we're about and getting it wrong.
Well,
apart from the fans. I'm happy that we've sold a lot of records. We have more than most bands in the last couple of years. You know, we've done like nearly 300 shows last year on that record, the 16 Stone. So it's like, that makes the most sense of it. All these things that we discuss, whether it's videos or magazines, and whether you get misrepresented and misunderstood and people take you the wrong way, just when you think you want to quit, and just when you think all these problems that Kurt had, obviously, and the problems that Eddie Vedder had, just when you think that everything, you should just quit it all and do it, and decide that you should go live somewhere else and forget it. You go play a show, and people react in a way that makes the whole room reverberate, irrespective of the size of the room, whether it's 200 or 18,000. And that kind of energy is something that you can never duplicate anywhere else. And that kind of energy is what music heals. You know, this morning I was feeling so terrible, and I listened all the way on the plane here from New York to Bob Marley, and he changed everything like he does every day. I feel bad. So that's the power that I get, and I hope that we convey some of that. You're fucking brilliant.
Il reste malheureusement juste une heure à passer ensemble. On a un prochain bloc musical à vous présenter. Notre prochain bloc musical qu'on doit vous présenter, c'est Meryl Bainbridge, Natasha Saint-Pierre. Et juste avant de voir les clips de Madonna, je vous donne les 10 premières positions de Billboard. On commence en 10e position avec The Wallflowers, qui était de passage il n'y a pas longtemps à Montréal. La 9e position, c'est Lean Rhymes. En passant, je vais vous dire, tout le monde a vu au Grammy Awards, Jacob Dylan, il était avec qui? Sheryl Crow. 9e position, la jeune demoiselle de 14 ans, Lean Rhymes. 8e position, Erykah Badu, qui est sortie avec son album Badouzième il n'y a pas trop longtemps. Spice Girls, 7e position, ils étaient en 6e, sont descendus en 7e. Duo maintient la 6e. La 5e, c'est No Doubt avec Tragic Kingdom. 4e position, finalement, Céline Dion est retournée dans les top 5 albums parce qu'elle était descendue en 7e position. Finalement, elle est en 4e position avec Falling Into You. 3e position, encore une fois, Lean Rhymes avec un autre album. Vous voyez bien, 14 ans, 2 albums, 10 positions. C'est incroyable, la femme, elle a tellement de succès. Mon Dieu, est-ce que vous l'avez vu au Grammy Awards? Elle était tellement simple, la petite fille. Elle était tellement contente de vous pleurer. Oh, thank you, thank you, thank you. Elle a vraiment 14 ans. Moi, je pensais que c'était un petit truc de publicité. Non, c'est vrai. 2e position, c'est Live avec Secret Samadhi. Et en première position, la bande originale du film Private Parts. Howard Stern n'arrête jamais. Première position, aussitôt que ça sort, frappe fort. Alors, on va aller voir Madonna maintenant, un autre tiré de l'album, bande originale du film Evita. Il s'agit de Another Suitcase in Another Hall, sur les ondes de Musique Plus.